With the new Disney season of Doctor Who well on the way, I thought it would be nice to make a tier list ranking of all 14 modern series we've been given over the last 20 whole years. Can you believe it's already been 2 decades since Christopher Eccleston? Before we start, this is obviously all my opinion, and I'm sure everyone's rankings are completely different, so let me know what your thoughts are. Speaking of Eccleston, what better way to start off this video than with Series 1, which we got in 2005. Now, I'm sure a lot of you would want me to put this in S tier, but hang on a second. I think this series is consistently good. However, I don't think Series 1 had all that many huge standouts. Like, none of my favourite episodes ever are from this season. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any of the episodes are bad by any means. I think none of them are particularly up there with, you know, Heaven Sent and stuff. To me, the episodes are all just sort of decent and good. The only thing I actively dislike about this series is how mean the Doctor was to Mickey Smith for literally no reason at all. Is it an S tier season? I don't think so, but it's definitely a consistent one, so for that it gets an A tier. Series 2. Okay, this season is definitely nowhere near as consistent as Season 1, and it has a fair few of crappy episodes like, you know, The Idiot's Lantern, Love and Monsters, Fear Her, and I think Doomsday is a somewhat overrated finale. However, it does definitely have a few highlights, such as The Girl in the Fireplace, The Impossible Planet, The Satan Pit, and again, none of those episodes are in like my top 10 or anything, but David Tennant is fantastic, obviously, and we've got the Cyberman 2-parter, which I really liked, and I do like the Ten and Rose stuff, but I still think this series is a low B tier, like a B minus. Series 3 is, in my opinion, a step up from Series 2. It has quite a lot of top tier episodes like Smith and Jones 42, The Family of Blood 2-parter, and Blink are all-time great episodes. I mean, even 42 I'm including in that statement. The one by Chris Chibnall with that sort of the collision course with the sun episode. I really like that one. Apparently not a lot of people do. Yeah, Blink is up there in like top 5 Doctor Who episodes ever. Unfortunately, Last of the Time Lords is a pretty awful finale. One of the worst series finales ever, in my opinion. That whole thing with the Doctor becoming like a flying, powerful spirit that somehow aged backwards is just so bad. Martha is a fantastic companion though, but she would have been better, I think, if she wasn't like, you know, sort of in love with the Doctor, and the Doctor was sort of still sad about Rose, you know, that sort of thing. It does get kind of annoying, that part of the season. But Series 3 as a whole, I don't think it's as consistently good as Series 1, but then again, it's clearly an improvement over Series 2. So, I mean, it has no bad episodes other than the finale, which is Last of the Time Lords, obviously. I want to put this series in an A tier, but just behind Series 1. And, of course, Series 4. Now, this is where things started to really take off. Series 4 is considered to be the best season by a lot of people, which, I mean, that's totally fair, obviously. And I think it's one of the best as well. But you'll have to wait and see to find out which is my number 1 best season. First of all, Donna Noble is like the definition of a good companion. She's funny, she's hilarious sometimes, she's sassy, she's relatable, she's well written, and her friendship with the 10th Doctor is just so perfect. I love the way they bounce off each other, and that scene in like the Fires of Pompeii where she helps the Doctor just like erupt the volcano, and then she begs him to save one person, is just really cemented her as the best companion in Doctor Who history. Yeah, like her and the 10th Doctor, they carry some episodes. I mean, there's some stories here that are in this season that are considered to be the best of all time. And I mean, like Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, Midnight, Turn Left, The Stolen Earth. And don't get me started on how hilarious Partners in Crime is. That series opener, Partners in Crime, is probably the funniest episode in the whole show. Even though there are some aspects of Journey's End, the finale, that I'm not like totally in love with, I still think it's fair to say that there are no bad episodes in Series 4. They're all either good or great. Plus, you can't beat the Dr. Donna duo. So for that, Series 4 is easily an S tier, just absolute perfection. Alright, Series 5. Let's dive into the Moffat era. There's so much to love about Series 5. There is so much to love about Series 5. Especially the whole fairy tale vibe it had. And obviously the brilliant 11th Doctor. The 11th Doctor is fantastic, played by Matt Smith. Not to mention, this season has Vincent and the Doctor and the 11th Hour, which, fun fact, Amy's house was actually my maths teacher's house in real life. That's where they filmed it. How cool is that? I absolutely love the two-part finale, the Big Bang and the Pandorica Opens, especially the Big Bang. I love how chaotic and full of time travel it is, full of paradoxes. I'm so obsessed with that two-part finale. That being said, I'm not sure if Series 5 is an absolutely perfect season. I mean, I'm definitely not a fan of the Angels two-parter, and I didn't like the Lodger, and it definitely has its fair share of episodes that are somewhat mid. But I'm gonna have to put it in a high A tier. High A tier, just above Series 1. Don't get me wrong, I still love Series 5. No doubt fantastic. Alright, Series 6. Here's a hot take for you. I actually prefer Series 6 to Series 5. I think Series 6 is better than Series 5. That's right, I genuinely think Series 6 is better than Series 5. Hear me out, okay? But Series 6 has the best opening episode ever, two-part opener. The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon, some of the best episodes of the show. Plus, we were treated to a fairly large bunch of 10 out of 10 perfect episodes. I mean, The Doctor's Wife, A Good Man Goes to War, The Girl Who Waited, The God Complex, and the Rebel Flesh two-parter, which is such an underrated story. And Let's Kill Hitler, another very underrated episode, which is such a fun episode, Let's Kill Hitler. To be honest, The Curse of the Black Spot is pretty mid, but Night Terrors isn't too bad. And Closing Time with Craig was actually a pretty fun episode, other than its ending, which was kind of flawed. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's still a good episode, and the finale, The Wedding of River Song, even that, whilst it has its issues with how Series 6 was resolved, it's definitely not a bad episode, and it's nowhere near as bad as the Series 3 finale, Last of the Time Lords. But my favourite part of Series 6 is probably the complex and well-written plot. It's so interesting, it's full of twists and turns. So call me crazy, but I'm putting Series 6 in S tier without a doubt. Series 6 is one of my favourite seasons of Doctor Who. I feel like I'm like the #1 fan of Series 6. Like, I don't think anyone else likes it as much as I do. Alright, Series 7. Alright, Series 7. This is definitely the worst of like the Matt Smith era. It just has so many mid episodes Series 7 does. I mean, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, The Power of Three, The Snowmen, The Bells of St. John, Cold War, Hyde, The Crimson Horror, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, Nightmare in Silver, All of those episodes are just so painfully mediocre. The Rings of Akaton was very decent, and Asylum of the Daleks does have some interesting stuff in it. I'll never forgive that episode because it's the one where Amy and Rory get a divorce for literally no reason at all. The Name of the Doctor is a somewhat strong series finale, and The Angels Take Manhattan is epic, terrifying, emotional, and I really like The Angels Take Manhattan, even though it does have its issues with plot holes. It's easily the best episode of the season in my opinion, but overall most of Series 7 is just boring, kind of mid. A Town Called Mercy, that's a really good episode, but I'm gonna have to give it a C. High C tier. Alright, moving on to Peter Capaldi with Series 8. Okay, where are we gonna put Series 8? I'm gonna need you to hear me out on this one. I think Series 8 is pretty shit. I mean, the Doctor is awful. The Doctor is awful in Series 8. For some stupid reason, they decided it would be a good idea to make the 12th Doctor like a selfish asshole who only cares about himself and Clara. It literally blows my mind that not many people have a problem with how the Doctor is characterized in this season. It's just so awful, the Doctor in Series 8. And it doesn't help that most of the Series 8 episodes are pretty rubbish. Episodes like Into the Dalek, which have interesting ideas, are weighed down by the Doctor being like a clumsy old psychopath for literally no reason at all. The Doctor literally makes jokes about people who have died in Series 8. This is not character development, this is Stephen Moffat losing his mind. As for the positives, I really did like the two-part finale, Dark Water and Death in Heaven. I love the finale of Series 8, which, I mean, is a bit of an unpopular opinion, I think. It's beautifully made, I think, and I love all the twists and turns. Other than that, I think Listen is the only good episode of Series 8. Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline are extremely overrated, in my opinion. And Deep Breath, the season opener, is one of the most boring episodes of Doctor Who I've seen. I mean, guys, Series 8 has to go in the D tier. Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman are great actors, but Series 8 is a D tier. Series 9. Series 9 is actually my personal favourite episode of the show. So it is going straight into S tier, above Series 4 and above Series 6. I hate Series 8, but I absolutely love Series 9. For starters, Heaven Sent is in that series, and yeah, Heaven Sent is the greatest Doctor Who story ever. And Face the Raven is up there too. Hellbent is the most underrated episode of all time. It is an absolute masterpiece and so good for the character of the Doctor. Hellbent is peak Doctor Who, and I will not be told otherwise. The Girl Who Died and the Woman Who Lived is an underrated gem. I love the way it comments on immortality. It's very interesting. It also shows the impact on on people's lives the Doctor leaves when he just shows up and then vanishes after rescuing people. Plus, this season has one of my favourite Dalek stories, The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. I love how it gives the Daleks a bit more lore. I think one of the most underrated two-parters of Doctor Who. Plus, it has the Zygon two-parter. It also has Under the Lake and Before the Flood, which is just like, what more would you want? It's a time-traveling ghost story. Under the Lake and Before the Flood. Under the Lake and Before the Flood are just amazing episodes. Yeah, Sleep No More, that episode is kind of shit, but it also has some interesting plot points. And Clara and 12's relationship is very well written here. And obviously, even though it has Sleep No More, I think all the other episodes of Series 9, except Sleep No More, are a 10 out of 10. And I love how this season shows that Clara's habits of using the Doctor and her travels in the TARDIS as a way to escape reality, and eventually lead to her downfall because she's trying to be like the Doctor. That's fantastic. I absolutely have zero hesitation to put Series 9 at the top of S tier. As for Series 10, I think this is the season where the 12th Doctor has his best characterization. Like, Series 10 has the best characterization for the Doctor, not just the 12th Doctor, but the way he acts in Series 10, is way better than the way he acts in Series 8. Bill Potts is one of the best companions ever, and I love the teacher-student / best friend relationship she has with the 12th Doctor. I do kind of have a soft spot for the Monk trilogy and the 2-part finale, but I think every episode besides World Enough and Time and The Doctor Falls are all mid. They're all kind of whatever. Extremis is good, the pilot is good, but yeah, it only has 4 good episodes. I think the rest of Series 10 is actually kind of mid, but it does have World Enough and Time and The Doctor Falls. And World Enough and Time is my favourite episode of the show. The Doctor Falls is basically the definitive Doctor Who story. It's packed full of legendary bittersweet moments, and it has the best characterization for the Doctor, finally making Capaldi's Doctor the tragic, kind hero he was always meant to be. It will probably be a C tier if it wasn't for World Enough and Time and the Doctor Falls, but World Enough and Time and the Doctor Falls are some of the best stories ever, so for that it gets a high B. Series 11, moving on to the Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker era. Another hot take, I think Series 11 is actually a pretty damn good series of Doctor Who. What? Don't get me wrong, it certainly has its issues here and there. I think Ryan is the worst companion in Doctor Who, Ryan Sinclair. And Yaz and Graham, they're not too bad, but the Doctor's morals, especially in Arachnids in the UK, the Doctor's moral code kind of makes no sense at all. And Kablam and the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos are 2 boring episodes made even worse by their endings. But Series 11 has its fair share of great episodes too. The Ghost Monument has a fantastic premise. Rosa is one of my favourite episodes of all time. Demons of the Punjab is amazing. The Woman Who Fell to Earth is a perfect series opener. And It Takes You Away is just pure Doctor Who goodness. And even Arachnids in the UK was actually a pretty good and fun episode up until the ending. And the Saranga Conundrum and the Witchfinders aren't mind-blowingly good episodes, but they're still really decent. And that first episode on the crane where 13th Doctor says, "I'm the Doctor," that is literally the biggest breath of fresh air after it took pretty much all of Series 8 for the 12th Doctor to realise who he is. But where are we going to put this on the list? I mean, like I said, it does have a selection of really good episodes. I think Jodie Whittaker is brilliant as the Doctor. It has too many low points to be an A or an S, so I'm gonna give Series 11 a high B tier. Series 12. I think Series 12 is easily a step down from Series 11. But it isn't all bad. I kind of like Praxius, actually. And I think Can You Hear Me, Fugitive of the Jadoon, and The Haunting of Villa Diodati are pretty good, but I don't particularly care for any of the other episodes. Even the good ones aren't particularly amazing. This season also has the Timeless Child storyline, which I don't think is that bad. But it's definitely not great, and I do think it does kind of maybe work. It just has so many episodes I don't care about. And whilst I personally don't hate the Timeless Child story arc, Ryan is still an awful companion, where are we going to put Series 12? It's not as bad as Series 8, but it's definitely not as good as Series 2. So I'll give it a low C tier. I'll give Series 12 a low C tier. Series 13, Flux. Okay, where are we going to put Flux? Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this season. It's perfectly understandable if you like it, but for me, I always just lose interest when I try and rewatch Flux. The plot is just so messy, and I never really understood where the Flux came from or what the point of it is, because I always get so bored and I just zone out before everything gets explained. On top of that, it has a nasty habit of sort of setting up new mysteries and plot points each episode, and then it gets us interested in that, but then the next episode doesn't resolve those plot points and mysteries. It just creates new plot points and mysteries, which makes the series even more messy. I'm sure a lot of these problems did happen because of how much pressure Chris Chibnall was under, you know, with COVID and everything. And I would have loved to see what he would have done if he wasn't under such strain. And this season, it definitely has its ups. Like, I did really enjoy the Halloween Apocalypse. I thought that was a great series opener. It's very fun. War of the Sontarans and Village of the Angels are pretty good episodes, even though they do have their issues. But after that, the series completely nosedives into a crap fest of disaster and boredom, at least in my opinion. So even though I do kind of like Flux, it's gonna have to go in D tier, but above Series 8. Alright, now we're back with Russell T Davies with Series 14, also known as Season 1 of the Disney era. We've got Ncuti Gatwa now playing the role, which I was actually not sure Ncuti Gatwa was a great choice to play the Doctor, considering he's really young and he was still playing like a literal teenager in the show Sex Education, and now he's playing the Doctor, who is pretty much a god. But hey, I was proven wrong, because Ncuti plays the Doctor exceptionally well, and the 15th Doctor's energy and enthusiasm and optimism is brilliant. Although me and a lot of other people aren't totally in love with the fact that he cries every episode, but that's not really a huge issue. As for the episodes themselves, I do think Space Babies is a really awful series opener. The worst first episode of any season of Doctor Who. And Empire of Death, the finale, which the whole season is leading up to, is the worst episode of the show. That's right, guys. Empire of Death is my least favourite episode of Doctor Who. It literally makes Chris Chibnall's finales look like gold. Empire of Death, it's just insulting to the fans of Doctor Who. Like, Ruby's mum being just a random nobody, and Sutekh getting destroyed so easily, and all the ridiculous plot holes. It just really annoys me. However, all the episodes in Series 14, apart from Space Babies and Empire of Death, are all pretty good. The Devil's Court is very decent. Boom is an amazing story, and I love how it traps the Doctor on a landmine for the whole episode. 73 Yards is in my top 10 Doctor Who episodes of all time. It's genius and probably the most mysterious episode of the show. Dot and Bubble is absolutely brilliant. The way that fantastic twist ending describes how close-minded and stupid racism is, it's just brilliant. And it's made even better when you realise the whole episode was setting it up. Rogue is just pure fun, and The Legend of Ruby Sunday is just really good Doctor Who, provided you don't think about Empire of Death, the second part. So yeah, those middle 6 episodes are all good or great, and the loving friendship between the 15th Doctor and Ruby is perfect. But where is it going on the list? Like, it automatically can't be an A or an S because it has a Space Babies and Empire of Death. But a C or a D is definitely too harsh. I'm gonna give it a high B. Top of B tier. And that is our completed tier list of every Doctor Who series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and just remember, it's all my personal opinion, everybody's different. And also, please remember to like and subscribe, because I'm a new channel talking about all things Doctor Who and science fiction. So I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and hey, why not let me know your predictions down in the comments about the next Disney season of Doctor Who. It's going to be out in 1 week already, my goodness. Anyway, see you in my next video, which will be out next weekend. Goodbye.